With less than a month to go for my wedding, I think it's safe to say that I've done my research, and this is probably our next chapter in this space where we discuss about wedding rings. Um, it's only last week that me and my fiance wrapped up our wedding ring shopping, and I've learned a lot throughout this process. And I would love to share my experience, not my experience, what I've learned with you, so that it would be of some help for you when you navigate your journey. Without wasting any further time, I'm gonna divide this video into two parts. So the first part is gonna discuss about diamond rings in particular and what to look for in diamonds. There's four things you need to look for, and I think it's popularly called the four C's. And before we even look into those four C's, just check if it's a lab grown diamond or a natural diamond. If it's a natural diamond, then make sure it's GIA certified. If it's a lab grown diamond, make sure it's IGI certified. That being said, now the four C's. The first C to look for is color. And in terms of color, it can range anywhere between A to Z. So if you have any doubts at all, I'm going to link the GIA scale in the description below. It's between A to Z, the color. A is the best that you can get, and Z means that it's very yellow, and that's something that you need to stay away from because diamonds are not usually yellow. The best ones are not yellow, and the more yellow it is, the poorer the quality is what is said. What the salesperson would advocate for, at least from what I've seen, is between D to F. So if your diamond is anywhere between a D and F, you're safe. Basically, it's of very good quality and you can just go buy it. Now that's out of the way. The next one would be cut. So for cut, and you have light penetrating through the diamond. So it is supposed to go horizontally, like just like this through the diamond, and it's not supposed to divert or reflect light in by the sides. Basically, you need the light to penetrate all the way down, and it's supposed to be horizontal. And whichever so again, based on that, you grade diamonds between excellent and poor. So there's excellent, very good, good, fair, and then poor. Look for the word excellent. And yeah, so that's cut. And next we move on to clarity. In terms of clarity, again, so you've got several gradings. It can range anywhere between vs1 vs1 to I think flawless. So what was told to me by my salesperson is, there could be a few places that claim that the diamond is flawless in clarity, but apparently it's close to impossible. So what is considered reasonable to like a good quality diamond clarity is somewhere between vs2 to vvs2. um so yeah, that's what you look for in clarity. But yeah, this is the third C. And the fourth C is carat. So carat is really based on how much ever you fancy, and it is really down to your budget. And it can be anywhere between a 0.1 carat to like 5 carats, 6 carats. Although I would bear in mind about like going beyond a certain carat, because it can have a problem being very stuck to the diamond for a very long time. And also it very much depends on what job you do for a day. In if you are a healthcare professional, if you're seeing patients, or if you need to keep your hands clean on a daily basis, need to wash your hands several times a day, I would definitely go down on the carat. That is the four things to keep in mind in terms of a diamond ring. The second half of this video is going to be about wedding bands. So now moving on to wedding bands. So again, like I said, it's not a very straightforward list, but I've just tried to narrow down things to look for. I was of the opinion that wedding bands are usually either um, gold or platinum, but no, there are so many other options to choose from, and it predominantly depends on what your work profile is and what you do for a living. So we've got other base materials like tungsten, titanium, and what else was it? Silicon, zirconium, stainless. So all of these have a certain characteristic that makes it stand out from the rest. Um, a few of them are crack resistant, a few of them are scratch resistant. So that is that. And the next thing to look for is the thickness. So the thickness, you can split it into two. The first one is the profile depth, and the next one is width. So base, like again, you can split them into three categories: light, medium, and heavy. It's a very personal preference. So you can imagine, right, that this is just gonna equate to how slender the ring appears to be. Similarly, for the width category, the slim ones are somewhere between 3 millimeters to 4 millimeters, and the medium ones are somewhere between 4 millimeters to 5 millimeters to 7 millimeters, and anything more than 7 millimeters is heavy. My fiance went with a 5 millimeter band, and it was perfect. And the next thing to look for is the finish. Obviously, very similar to lipsticks. There's a matte finish, there's a glossy finish, and it's a very personal preference again. The disadvantage with matte finish is that it undergoes a process called burnishing, and this sometimes can make it difficult to maintain. So these are the things that you look for in a wedding band. But obviously, if you're going for a gold wedding band, then make sure it's make sure you know the carat. It could be 8, 18, sorry, 8 carats, is it, or is it 6 carats? And then there's 18 carats and then 22 carats. So yeah, look for the number in gold bands. So I must say, this has been a good learning experience for me altogether. um, all this being said, if you gravitate towards a particular ring and you really like it, I don't think any of this should matter. You just have to go for it, because you're probably going to regret not getting it for the rest of your life, even if any of these criteria just don't sit well, because obviously you're paying so much money, so it's going to compensate in one way or the other. But if you just can't take your eyes off it, if you really want to wear it for the rest of your life, then you should go for it. And that's what I did with mine. I'm sure they've got certification for each of the products that they sell, and they can at least verbally let you know what it means. And last but not the least, just inquire about guarantee schemes and everything. If you can insure it, go for it. But yeah, that's my learning about wedding rings. I really hope you found it useful when your turn comes around. And I'll see you in the next chapter. Bye bye.